welcome back for test number 3 in the Total Tactics testing series for Football Manager 23. This is the first test that comes from the full release of the game. The first 2 test tactics came from the beta, and now with the full release, we have a chance to really see what this match engine is capable of. Now, I will say I don't think there are major differences between the match engines of the beta and FM23, so the tactics that I've retested have certainly performed to my expectations. So for this tactic today, we are going to work with another strikerless tactic. If you've been kind of keeping your head to the ground, you would know that Strikerless is back at FM23, and I think back in a big way. Whether or not the eventual match engine patches paper over some of the cracks that are leading to Strikerless being effective again is yet to be seen. But for now, well, I'm planning on having some fun with Strikerless tactics. So that's why I've gone ahead and released that one today. And let's take a look at this tactic a little bit more in depth. As always, all of the tactics here on this video series are available for download at the Total Tactics Discord. There's a link in the description, so make sure you click on that link, join that Discord, get verified, and you can feel free to try out all of the tactics there. All right, the tactic here today is a strikerless system, like I said, that is built around the way Pep Guardiola played strikerless when Gabriel Jesus and an aging Sergio Aguero, was in his twilight years with the club, not quite able to run the line the way you would normally expect. So instead, you had a bunch of swirling offensive players around Aguero, moving the ball forward through the stages of the pitch until Aguero could become that poacher, last man, short, quick darting runs in on through balls to get those goals. So that's what we're shooting for here. We've got the very ball-playing athletic back line with the inverted wingbacks on attack and those ball-playing defenders really trying to recycle the ball, get it forward, and be a part of the offense as distributors, not just defenders, which is a big feature of the way the city likes to play football. Also, you've got those CM attack roles. Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan have been so good in those positions. Mahrez and Grealish, those inverted wingers on the outside. And then this halfback is the way Fernandinho and now Rodri kind of play, shielding that back line, making great passes, winning balls in the air, and just being kind of the anchor point for the defense. Normally, you would think it's the defenders themselves, but I don't think that's as true in these city tactics, where the defenders themselves are so often ball carriers with a lot of skill, like Laporte and Stones and Walker and all the different players you've seen, Cancelo especially, feature in the offense for City. It's really the halfback that has been the foundation of the defense for so long in that tactic. So I've built this tactic to kind of function exactly the same, and the results have been incredible, and I'm really happy with it for this season. So quickly run through some of the instructions here. The key here is this tackle harder, mark tighter, shoot less often. This triad of instructions on these front 3 make sure that you are making the extra pass so that you kind of walk the ball into the back of the net, and B, that you are also making sure to press tightly and press aggressively as much as you can from these forward options. And these instructions really help those 2 goals kind of come to fruition. So thus the CM attack, also you want them taking a lot of risks, moving into channels. They're also trying to win the ball back. They're also ball carriers. You want them dribbling the ball the way Bernardo Silva, the way Kevin De Bruyne do, where they carry the ball into the offensive third and then find the pass. Which I think is something that is a strong feature as well of those Pep teams. So the instructions, I think, will make a lot of sense to you. Hopefully this hit early crosses as well as to help encourage the ball to go outside in, really find that shadow striker through the middle, and then that sometimes leads to a 1-2 with the center mid. So when you get that cross in early to the shadow striker, it means the center mid support runs happen sooner. And you want to kind of keep the ball, that forward momentum going through the attacking thirds and levels of the pitch, and getting that ball away from the wide areas into the middle to really start the 1-2 passing triangles between the CM attack and shadow strikers is something that's a strong feature of this tactic, and hopefully something that you really see kind of come true when we get to the actual highlights here in a second. So everything else is pretty standard. The only other thing I'll mention here again is we are using the combination of a higher defensive line but dropping off more, something that I've found to be pretty effective. So hopefully you have the same experience. But let's take a look at some of the the highlights of the tactic in action. All right, in this highlight, we're going to see some of the transition game and how quickly and how powerfully this team can get players forward and just how overwhelmed defenses can sort of look. So Lookman is about to get the ball here. And then if you check out the amount of support that Lookman has here, just visible in our screen, we've got Mele. He's the right inverted wingback. You've got Koopmeiners, one of the midfielders. You've got Pasalic, one of the midfielders. And then you've even got Brandon Soppy here, who's the left inverted wingback, who's almost the most further. He is the furthest forward player on the pitch for offensively right now. Malinowski in the middle, and then again, as well in front of him, Martin de Roon. So there are 6 support players to go with Lookman, all 7 attacking players here. It's just the halfback and the 2 center backs that are not forward right now. And look, they're all past the halfway line already. The transitions are so quick and devastating. So we'll go ahead and push play and watch this kind of develop. But it's a pretty simple play. Like Lookman moves here to spread out. We still have all of the offensive players. Now Boga even joining the fray as well. All of the players here are kind of involved. You've got constant defenders just running backwards. And you could already start to see, like, look what's going on here. Nothing, right? This center back, Ehrlich, should be much further back, but isn't because all the action was in midfield. There was no striker holding him back. So earlier in the play, Ehrlich was very high. This player turned and ran into space, Ferrari, because de Roon has the ball. But Ferrari was really high as well. So right now you can just kind of see that Sassuolo is chasing this play. De Roon gets it across. Malinowski is ahead of Ehrlich. It's too late, and there's the goal. So just like attacking the space, getting bodies forward in transition, and it's just devastating. All right, we're going to watch Strikerless do its thing again, warping players out of position. So the player I want to kind of highlight here again is this defender, Ehrlich, and sort of watch what's happens to Ehrlich. He's got a player coming, Malinowski, that he probably should pay attention to. He's got this helper, Lopez, watching Pasalic. Boga has the ball, and either Ehrlich or Muldur has to engage. If they both engage, Malinowski's in trouble. If only Muldur engages, maybe Boga can go around him. We'll see like how this starts to develop, and we'll kind of go like frame by frame, and we'll watch like Ehrlich in particular as we go through this highlight. So we just keep cooking. Looks like Ehrlich, is starting to watch the ball, and now you can already see starting to develop. You've got this player running in through behind. So, but remember, there's a second guy too, and right now we've got 3 players, maybe 4, all sort of watching the ball. And really, you've got these 2 runners now, both inside this shoulder of this defender, and these 2 midfielders have now lost both of them. So these 2 runners coming through the middle on this attacking duty, only Ehrlich covering, because this guy ain't getting there in time. So watch how this sort of develops and with the kind of position that tactic really puts them in. So here comes Boga again. And Ehrlich has started to engage the ball because Muldur never stepped up. Boga sees the opportunity, and he's got a man wide open. So watch it develop from here, right? Now, Malinowski has it. Ehrlich is turning to him. Okay, we don't hit Malinowski in stride, so the defense is starting to get back. But look at all these players keep running. So Boga is still running. Pasalic is still running, and Pasalic here is the danger man, which is why we talked about him all the way back at the beginning of this highlight, how there were 2 guys and only no one covering them, except maybe Ehrlich on the turn got back and was able to stop Malinowski, but now is way out of position to ever have a chance to get through to stop Pasalic. So we go push play now and watch the rest, and the rest is Malinowski, the ball, Pasalic hits it forward to Boga. Like just, you saw all of the interactions there where we just spun Ehrlich in a circle. You could never really commit to defending anybody. As soon as he did, it was the wrong decision because there were multiple people then to just keep spinning him around in a circle, and eventually Boga scores. It's a classic strikerless goal, and it's something that I'm excited to see be a part of the match engine because it's intuitive. It makes sense that if you overloaded people in those areas, that you'd be able to really kind of take advantage of the defensive AI in those situations. In the final highlight, we'll just take a quick look at some of the power of the inverted wingback on attack. So once again, if we kind of take stock of who's on the pitch here, this right here is Brandon Soppy. He is the inverted wingback on the left, and Look at how far forward he is in this possession. So Toloy, one of the center backs, has the ball and aims for Sapi on this. Look at this great progressive forward pass straight up the channel to an open player, and watch kind of the play develop from there. There's a little bit of a sloppy defending, but it shows you the power of the forward positioning of these IWBs. So Toloy there, Sapi, a little bit of a bad turn, and his own teammate got in the way, but once the sloppiness ended, Brandon Sapi finishes it into the side netting. Now, it's just impressive because even if the teammate here, Ederson, wasn't in the way, the angle was there for Sapi just to make that run. There was, if the teammate is the one that stopped him, not a defender, right? So if the teammate's not there, he just goes in and scores the first time. So even though it is a little bit sloppy, it almost made the chance even harder for Brandon, and he's able to finish it into the side netting. So it's just the IWBs get so far forward, and if you have the stomach for it, yeah, it's really attacking, and I get that, but the power that it gives you is just unparalleled in the match engine, in my opinion. And something that you will often see a feature of some of these 4-back systems that I develop is taking advantage of these internal channel runs by these advanced inverted wingbacks on attack. All right, let's take a look at the results. Now you can see here, Atalanta is the title holder. 90 points with this tactic, 28 wins, 6 draws, only 4 losses, and a plus 72 goal differential, because that's where it starts to get interesting. 90 points, but 106 goals to go with the 34 against. 34 against being second or third best in the division, it looks like. I see a 32, I see a 33, but 34 goals allowed, less than a goal a game, while scoring almost 3 goals a game, is extremely impressive statistic for this tactic. So 90 points in Serie A, 10 points clear of Inter, Milan, Lazio, Juve, Roma, some giants of this division, and Atalanta, playing strikerless, is able to best them all, and that's without using Duvan Zapata. The AI will not use Zapata as a shadow striker, and so you're doing it, you're winning the league without Atalanta's arguably best player, which is, I think, a really impressive feat. So this tactic is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and something that I would encourage you to give it a spin in the future. A couple quick reminders. The full database for testing tactics will be released in the coming weeks. It is currently under development and being tested. Now, remember, if you want to have early access to that tester before your friends and before some of your family members who are playing this game, is you can become a patron to the channel. So there's a link in the description to the Patreon. All patrons get early access to the tester, in addition to other consultations and discussions about tactics with me individually. So go ahead, log on, check out the benefits on Patreon, and consider joining the team. I'm really excited. I'll put out a video that kind of explains how the new tester works and some of the changes that we put into place this year, and I'm excited to share those with you. But for now, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, whatever you got to do the things, comment on the video, and hit us up in the comments and talk to us on the Discord server, and let us know how the tactics are working for you and the things that you're testing. What teams are you testing with right now? Share your results, get involved. The Discord's a great community. There's tons of people there willing to help, provide advice, talk tactics. Lots of X's and O's nerds out there that really are enjoying using this resource as a way to share their knowledge and discussion and love for tactics with you. So get involved. I don't think you'll regret it. But for now, we'll be on the lookout for more videos in the future. I've been a little bit under the weather, if you can't tell, and it's kind of messing with my head, and it's got this cold and whatever. So apologies for any of the it's just not as clean this week. And you know what? I think that's okay. We can all cut ourselves a little bit of slack. But anyway, I should shut up now, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.